Hello, my name is Victoria McDermott and I am the founder of Indigo Holistics. I am a mind healer who facilitates fulfillment and freedom. And today I will be talking about my Freedom from Fear journey, which is an inner journey flowing through different stages and different inner energies, helping people to connect with their deepest fears, embracing them, and then finally letting them go. So what is fear? How do we know when the fear is inside us? How did it get there? There's so many questions surrounding it sometimes, but actually it's as simple as this. A fear has been created from an event that you've witnessed, an event that you've experienced, or an event that hasn't happened yet. Fear has manifested itself within you because it's been allowed to. It's found that little bit of cracking or fracturing within your physical or your mental body, and it's slipped its way in there. And every time you're confronted by something that might be or has been or will be a part of you feeling fearful or scared, it will just grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, the fear that I work with is real trapped fear, and it could be from 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago. But the process is exactly the same. First, we need to try and establish where the fear has come from. Has it been witnessed? Has it been experienced? Or has it happened yet? That's the key thing. And once we've established that, then we can begin to look at how far it's been able to travel within the physical and the mental body. How far has it manifested through the physical body? And how much has it taken a hold of that person? Now, a way of figuring that out is just looking at how that person behaves and reacts to situations. So finding out more about when they're going through times of change and transitioning, how they're reacting to that will give us a good indication of how much that fear has been able to manifest. Now, I believe that fear, if it's left unsolved or if it's just left to just breed within the body, it begins to create real physical symptoms. And a lot of these physical symptoms are known as anxiety. Now, I in the past have been crippled with anxiety, so I know how detrimental it can be. But sometimes it's just very slight symptoms that we don't really notice, but that happen over and over again. Those are the sneaky ones that we need to look out for. So things like being in a new situation, having the butterflies are good, adrenaline is good. We need that to propel us into new chapters and propel us into personal growth. But if it's an uncomfortable feeling within the gut and the butterflies are churning, this isn't a good feeling. We don't need to live with this. We don't need to live with the rushes down our body. We don't need to live with the whiteness coming across our eyes, the sweaty palms, the real feeling of nervousness flowing through us. It's too stimulating. It doesn't need to be a part of us, and we can shift it out of us. If we don't grip hold of the anxiety that has been created by the fear, we're then propelling into another level completely. And this is when sheer panic takes over. And this is where we have real debilitating problems that can take down the strongest and most powerful of people. The most outgoing, confident person can be crippled and kept isolated and held hostage in their own homes. So it's really important that we don't let this anxiety escalate into panic attacks. So how do we begin to eradicate fear? How do we begin that process to shifting it out of our physical, mental bodies? Freedom from fear has been created to connect and embrace and let go of our fears. But the first step to the whole process is actually having an understanding of your fears and being ready to make that change. I find that creating a safe environment for my clients is a good starting point, and from that building their confidence of allowing them to be in control of their fears. Being in control when the fear thinks that it is in control, taking back the ownership of life and loves and happiness. Now, the first thing that we need to do is we need to connect with the fear. So whatever fear it is, we need to actually just be aware of it, connect with it. Where is it? Is it in us? Is it outside of us? Is it in our mental? Is it in our physical? Making that connection with fear can be created by yourself, and there's a very simple way of doing it. So just for a moment, I want you to think about not one of your biggest fears, but one of your general fears that you have or that you may have had in life. And I just want you to place it in your mind's eye. This is a simple connection process that anyone can do, just bringing it into your mind's eye and just having it there for a moment. Seeing how that feels. How does it feel in your mind's eye? You're actually looking and creating that fear. You have all the power here. Fear is not expecting this. And that's when you can really begin to combat it, when it's least expected. So just bring it into the mind's eye. That is a connection point right there. And from that connection point, what we begin to do is we begin to oxygenate that fear. And the way that we do that is just beginning to focus on our breath and making that connection with our breath and our mental vision. Now, with some clients, I get them to project their fear out in front of them. I get them to write it with their finger or have it flashing at them in big neon lights. However they want it to be projected, it's there. And as we're doing this, we are allowing expansion with our fear. We are allowing this projection to take over, and we are still fully in control of this. Again, fear is not expecting this. And this really helps to empower whoever is doing this process. Once that projection is there with your fear, whatever it may be, then we can really begin to look, reflect and work with it. Now, the first part after connection is bringing that fear into our breath and breathing with it. Taking that fear down deep into our inner energy column, letting it flow within ourselves, feeling that uncomfortableness with it, connecting with it fully, internally and externally, letting it complete its circuit wherever it needs to go, and then we're going to embrace it into our heart space. We're going to smother it with love. We're going to delve into the depths of our heart and love this fear. Thank this fear. Be a part of this fear just for a moment. And once we have engaged with this fear and embraced it and held it closely within our heart space, we're then going to surround this fear with divine white light. We're going to allow it to really expand and awaken within this heart space. And then when it least expects it, we're going to set it free. We're going to let it go. And as we are letting it go, we are going to send it on its way with light and love. And we're going to thank it for the lesson it has given us and everything we have learned from it. And then we're going to watch it fade and drift into the universal planes. We have only just scratched the surface of the Freedom from Fear programme. There are 10 modules in the programme, and each one goes through a process to how to eliminate fear from our physical, mental and spiritual bodies. I created the programme Freedom from Fear because I've learnt firsthand how debilitating it can be to suffer from anxiety and panic. My work now is devoted to helping others release these toxic emotions and behaviours from their lives and lead them to a life of freedom and fulfilment. Please get in touch if you want to know more about the programme itself, or you would like more information on the work that I do to serve others. Thank you for listening today.